We've seen market failure in the case of externalities, but there are other factors that contribute towards failure in particular markets. Here we'll define two characteristics of products that contribute to market failure: rivalry and excludability. So rivalry refers to the impact of a person's consumption on the overall availability of a resource. A good is rival if consumption prevents others from consuming the good or otherwise diminishes the resource. Most goods are rival. If I eat a sandwich, there are fewer sandwiches in the world. But some goods are non-rival, which affects the structure of the market. Excludability refers to our ability to prevent people from consuming the good. And in particular, we're usually concerned with preventing non-payers, people who do not pay for the product, from consuming it. Together, these two characteristics will influence the type of market that exists. So like I said, most goods are rival. Most goods are also pretty excludable. So my sandwich, it's pretty hard to steal. We have property rights, laws that are easily enforced against stealing. It prevents people who don't pay for sandwiches from consuming them. So private goods, most of the goods in our economy fall into this category. Sandwiches, cars, t-shirts, a lot of the products that we've been talking about throughout the course. When a good is either non-rival or non-excludable, then we have a higher propensity for market failure. To see that, let's talk about some examples of goods that are either non-rival, non-excludable, or both. A good that's excludable but non-rival is one that you have to pay to consume, but one person's consumption does not prevent others from consuming the same resource. For example, HBO, Netflix, other streaming services require memberships. You have to pay in order to get access to the shows. But just because I watch Game of Thrones doesn't diminish anyone else's ability to watch Game of Thrones. So non-rival but excludable goods we call natural monopoly markets. And we'll talk about this a little bit more when we get to the firm section. Sometimes these goods are also called club goods because you have to have a membership in order to consume them. And there are a variety of different examples. So I would say Disneyland is an example. Movies, right? Music, that kind of stuff. Now, to the extent that movies and music are freely available, then we would move into this category, which we refer to as public goods. So public goods are goods that are both non-rival and non-excludable. So we might put like news media here, or music is, I think, now just shifted over here to the non-excludable category, as well as goods like sunshine, okay, or goods provided by the government, public defense. Many public goods are provided either by the government or by nature. And we do see these industries now struggling to deal with the fact that they have become more publicly available. And that's been a big structural change in several of our information industries. All right, so we have private goods, natural monopoly goods, public goods, and then the last category is common property goods. So common property goods are rival. They can be diminished, but they're non-excludable. They're common property. Everyone has access to them. So an example might be fish in the ocean, or public Wi-Fi gets crowded and slow and then it doesn't work anymore. Let's see. Forests, right? We have deforestation is a problem of common property good. Lots of environmental issues fall into the common property good category. So we're going to focus in this module on our non-excludable goods and market failure that results from that specific characteristic. We will come back to the non-rival good, natural monopoly goods, when we get to the firm section. But for now, we're going to think about how non-excludability, the inability to prevent non-payers from consuming the product, affects markets for common property goods and public goods.